We meet again Odil Reno-Baso, President of European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Madame Reno-Baso, welcome again in Sofia.
Thank you.
In the last 3 years, since your first visit here, you have been very active in Bulgaria, supporting a number of projects. Only last year, you have doubled your investments. On the basis of your work, what conclusions and recommendations can be made? What will be your future strategy hold? Some changes, maybe?
So I think our focus will continue to be supporting the private sector development, and that's what we've been doing last year, where almost all our investments were in the private sector to support SMEs, to support corporate, either directly or through the banking sector. And in relation to that, also to support green transition, energy efficiency, and resilience. And if I think only about the question of energy, which was very much at the core of what we've been doing, Bulgaria is the country with the lowest energy efficiency, or lowest energy efficiency in the EU. And so it's very important to invest in this area for competitiveness of the country, but also for resilience and for energy security. So we will continue to invest very much in this area, as well as supporting hopefully development of infrastructure to increase the connectivity, but also new technologies, new opportunities, for example, in the digital area. And I'm very happy that in April, we will launch the Star Venture program, which is a program we design and we have in different countries, where we provide targeted support to high potential companies, often in the tech sector, but startups, to which we provide some targeted advisory support, and we connect them to a broader network of companies worldwide so that they can learn from each other and build capacities.
EBRD has been very substantial in implementation of Bulgaria Recovery and Resilience Plan. Unfortunately, we can see serious backlogs in implementation of this mechanism in Bulgaria, but also in European level. Could this delay be compensated and the needed investment secured?
So I think it's a big opportunity. This is really a big opportunity for the country, because it provides a very important amount of financing in the form of grants. And I think that it's of the utmost importance to try to find ways to unlock this potential for investment. And I know that there are some ongoing discussion and exchange with a number of people during this visit about the plans, and implementing the reform agenda that was underpinning this reform program is important also for the benefit of the country, because reform will generate more growth and opportunities. So I hope that a way will be found soon.
In the latest regional report of EBRD, the projection for Bulgarian growth has been slightly lowered. Also, there has been a point that Bulgaria is very vulnerable to changes in the tariff policy and escalation in the trade tension. Does this development can endanger Bulgaria's Eurozone membership? And what policy can be applied to mitigate the impact of this risk and also to promote competitiveness?
I think the country is well on track for euro accession, because inflation has been receding and in the range that is needed as a criteria, and there is a strong awareness about the need to keep the deficit level below or at 3% maximum. So important steps will be taken in the coming months with the convergence report. And the economy overall is still growing and quite strong positive territories when compared with the rest of the EU, because we have a forecast of 2.4 in 25, 2.8 in percent of growth in 2026. So this is still quite dynamic. Of course, there are some vulnerabilities, and the global environment is changing, and there may be trade tension are already there. So that is likely to have an impact, and also Bulgaria is also dependent on what's going on in the rest of the euro area, and in Germany, in Italy, France. So there are some risks ahead, and to be able to address this risk, I mean, domestic buffers are very important, and Bulgaria is well placed because of the low level of debt, but it's also very important to preserve competitiveness and to invest for the future. So I think that's why, I mean, monitoring competitiveness is a very important element, and investing in infrastructure, skills, and so forth is very important to enhance the resilience of the country and the growth potential of the country.
You mentioned changing international environment, and EBRD is praised as the climate bank of Europe. Unfortunately, we have seen some developments in the global level and European. For example, rising the defense expenses, and also USA exiting Paris Agreement. Could these developments mean some backsteps in climate financing? For example, readjustment financing for projects for green and sustainability goals.
So Bulgaria is part of the EU, and EU will continue to stick, I mean, to the green transition and implement, I mean, support investment to reduce CO2 emission and to adapt, improve the resilience to climate change. So I think that will remain an important priority of us in this country. We've been supporting a lot of renewable and battery storage projects in the context of the growth program. So I think that will remain very important in our agenda, and it's also key to address, to improve energy security and improve diversification of energy supply, which is important for this country. So I think that we will continue to support the country in this trajectory. Of course, there will be some, trade-off to be made, not between in energy investment and defense investment, but I mean the European countries are committing to increase defense expenditure to enhance their security and strategic autonomy, and that will require difficult budget decision. But I think that's a broader discussion, and I mean I don't see the trade-off between the green transition and this objective.
Another part from the changes at global level are the shifts in relationships between Europe and USA and their multidimensional partnerships. Could this lead to some changes in the work of development banks and EBRD especially?
So development banks and EBRD especially are always adjusting to change in the environment, change of economic circumstances. You know, we reacted very quickly to COVID, providing some exceptional support for all countries that have been affected by COVID, which were basically all our countries of operation. We've been also adjusting very quickly, for example, and providing support for the Ukrainian economy and Ukrainian private sector when the war in Ukraine started in February 2022. So we will adjust, for example, if, and we were ready to increase our support for Ukraine, for reconstruction, if a peace agreement stable peace was to be found.
And is there some other message you want to share with the Bulgarian public?
No, so I'm very happy to have spent 2 days in Bulgaria and to meet with a lot of clients from the public sector, from government, but also from the private sector. And I've been very impressed by the entrepreneurial spirit of a number of clients in the private sector, from in very different areas, from energy, batteries for and chargers for electric vehicles, to food bar for protein food bar. So a lot of project and a lot of energy, which is very good for the future of the country.